High in the Andes Mountains straddling the border between Peru-Bolivia lies a spectacle of nature so vast it appears as an inland ocean. This is Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world, cradled at an astonishing altitude of over 3,800 meters above sea level. A shimmering expanse of deep blue water stretches toward a distant horizon framed by snow-capped peaks. The air here is thin and crisp, carrying a profound sense of stillness and antiquity. Not merely a body of water, a sacred cradle of ancient civilizations. A landscape of stark, breathtaking beauty. Lake Titicaca covers more than 8,300 square kilometers, creating its own microclimate on the Altiplano. The sun's rays are intense at this altitude, striking the water with almost blinding brilliance. Nights here can be bitterly cold. The lake acts as a thermal regulator, absorbing daytime heat and releasing it through the night. That balance has allowed communities to flourish for centuries. Their ways of life are attuned to the rhythms of the water, the rhythms of the sky. The lake's history is as deep as its waters. For the Inca, it was the birthplace of their first rulers, Manco Capac and Mama Oclo. Today it's home to the Aymara and Quechua peoples. They call it Mama Cucha, the mother lake. Upon the vast, tranquil surface of Lake Titicaca exists one of the most remarkable examples of human adaptation on our planet. Here the Uros people have built their entire world not on solid ground, but upon floating islands of their own creation. These are not islands in the geological sense, they are buoyant platforms meticulously crafted from the very reeds that grow in abundance along the lake's shallows. To see them for the first time is a truly astonishing sight, a cluster of golden-hued villages seemingly adrift in the immense blue small huts watchtowers rising gently against the backdrop of the sky. This is a community that lives in a state of perpetual flotation, a testament to human ingenuity and a deep understanding of their environment. The Uros people refer to themselves as the people of the lake, and have a history that predates even the great Inca Empire. Legend holds they are owners of the lake, with black blood said to make them impervious to cold and drowning. They sought refuge on the water centuries ago, escaping conflicts with more powerful mainland groups, turning to the abundant totora reeds as their primary resource for survival. They built their world upon the water, creating a sanctuary that was movable and defensible. This unique way of life, born out of a need for security, has evolved into a vibrant and enduring culture linked to the lake that sustains them. The very existence of the Uros Islands is a marvel of natural engineering, a tradition passed down through countless generations. The foundation of this floating world is the totora reed, a type of giant bulrush that grows prolifically in the shallow parts of Lake Titicaca. The process of building an island begins with harvesting these reeds, then weaving their dense, buoyant root balls together to form a thick, buoyant base known as a kili. These interlocking blocks of roots create a strong, stable platform, often over a meter thick, which forms the initial layer of the island. It is a monumental undertaking, requiring immense strength and a collaborative spirit among the community members. Once this foundational layer is in place, construction continues with countless layers of dried totora reeds, crisscrossed, stacked to create the island's surface. This upper layer must be constantly maintained. As the lower layers become waterlogged and begin to decompose, fresh, dry reeds are spread across the top, ensuring the island remains buoyant and habitable. Walking on these islands is a unique sensation. The ground is soft and springy. You can sometimes feel the gentle sway of the water beneath. The air is filled with the sweet, earthy scent of drying reeds, the constant aroma of home for the Uros people. In the floating world of the Uros, roads, cars, traffic simply do not exist. The pathways here aren't paved with asphalt, they're shimmering channels of open water. Boats are the primary mode of transportation, the family vehicle, the workhorse. For centuries they've been crafted from totora reeds that form the islands. These reed boats, balsas, are iconic on Lake Titicaca. Builders bundle reeds tightly into a canoe-like shape, often with two hulls and a gracefully curved prow. Sometimes the prow is shaped like a puma's head, a sacred motif. These boats are perfectly suited for lake life. Lightweight, stable, easily maneuvered through dense reed beds where the Uros fish and hunt for birds. Building a balsa is taught father to son, a rite of passage. Larger ornate boats are made for tourism, smaller functional balsas handle daily tasks, but reed boats have a limited lifespan. Waterlogging leads to rot within a year, so they must be rebuilt, keeping boat building a living tradition. Today, traditional balsas are still cherished, but are often supplemented by simple wooden boats with outboard motors. For the Euros people, the day begins with the first light of the sun casting a golden glow across the water. Life is guided by the natural rhythms of the lake and the sky. The primary source of sustenance has always been the lake itself. The men of the community are fishermen, rising early to venture out in their boats onto the calm morning waters. They use traditional methods including gill nets to catch native species like the karachi, the ispi, and introduce trout. The catch provides essential protein for their families and, if there is a surplus, a source of income when sold or bartered in the mainland markets. This daily act of fishing is a quiet, patient ritual that has sustained them for centuries. While the men are out on the water, the women are the vibrant heart of the island's domestic and economic life. They are exceptionally skilled artisans, their hands constantly at work creating intricate textiles and handicrafts. Using brightly colored wool, they embroider beautiful tapestries known as arpileras that depict the reed islands, the fishermen in their boats, the birds of the lake, and the ever-present sun. These crafts are not just artistic expression, they have become a vital source of income, sold to the tourists who visit the islands. The women also tend to the homes, prepare meals and care for the young children, their days a busy hum of productive activity. Education is highly valued, though it presents unique logistical challenges. The children must travel by boat to attend school. The cultural life of the Euros people, like their physical world, is deeply intertwined with the natural environment of the high Andes. Music and celebration are not separate from daily life but are woven into its very fabric, providing a vibrant soundtrack to their existence on the water. The sounds that echo across the lake are often those of traditional Andean instruments, their melodies carrying a sense of melancholy, joy, and deep connection to the land and sky. The siku, or panpipe, made from hollow reeds, produces a breathy, ethereal sound that seems to capture the whisper of the wind across the altiplano. Its haunting notes are a signature sound of this high-altitude world. Another key instrument is the charango, a small 10-stringed lute, traditionally made with the shell of an armadillo as its resonator. Its bright, lively strums provide a rhythmic counterpoint to the soulful melodies of the pipes and flutes. When played together, these instruments create a rich and evocative soundscape that is uniquely Andean. Music is a part of many communal activities, from festivals, religious ceremonies, to informal gatherings at the end of the day. It is a way of expressing shared emotions, telling stories of their history, and honoring the spiritual forces like the Pachamama, Mother Earth, and the lake itself that govern their lives. Celebrations on the floating islands are colorful, lively affairs that bring the entire community together. One of the most important times of the year is the winter solstice in June, celebrated as the Aymara New Year, or Machak Mara. This is a time of renewal, of honoring the sun, Inti, and giving thanks for the life-giving warmth it provides in the cold highland climate. These celebrations are a powerful expression of cultural identity and resilience. To spend time on the floating islands is to be immersed in a world of profound peace, where the dominant sounds are those of nature itself. The constant, gentle lapping of water against the reed banks is the underlying rhythm of life here, a soothing, ever-present whisper. This is accompanied by the soft rustle of the totora reeds as they sway in the breeze, a sound like 1,000 quiet sighs. There is an absence of the noise that defines so much of modern life. No drone of traffic, no blaring sirens, no hum of machinery. Instead, the soundscape is composed of water, wind, and the calls of the abundant bird life that makes its home in the reed beds. The visual landscape is one of overwhelming scale and stark, simple beauty. The sky above Lake Titicaca is immense and ever-changing, a vast canvas of the deepest blue on a clear day or a dramatic theater of towering clouds. At sunrise and sunset, this canvas is set ablaze with colors of incredible intensity. Fiery oranges, soft pinks, deep purples that reflect perfectly on the mirror-like surface of the water, creating a breathtaking 360-degree panorama of light. The distant Andes Mountains form a majestic serrated border on the horizon, their snow-covered peaks appearing ethereal and remote. As day turns to night, another dimension of the lake's beauty is revealed. Life on the floating islands, while idyllic in many ways, is not without its significant challenges. The very environment that sustains the Euros people also presents constant threats. The weather on the high altiplano can be extreme and unpredictable. Fierce storms can sweep across the lake with little warning, creating large waves that can damage the fragile reed islands and endanger those out on the water. The intense sun at this high altitude poses a constant risk. while the nights can bring freezing temperatures. Their simple reed homes offer limited protection. Living in such an exposed environment requires a remarkable degree of hardiness and adaptability. The isolation of the islands, historically a source of protection, now poses modern challenges. Access to healthcare is limited, access to higher education is limited, access to a diversity of economic opportunities is limited. A basic school and small health clinic may exist, but more serious medical issues or advanced schooling require a long and sometimes difficult journey to Puno. This reliance on the mainland creates a tension between their traditional, self-sufficient way of life and the needs and desires of a modernizing world. Younger generations may feel the pull of the opportunities that city life appears to offer. Tourism has become a double-edged sword for the Euros community. On one hand, it has provided a vital new source of income, allowing them to purchase goods they cannot produce themselves. However, this reliance on tourism also brings challenges. It can lead to the commercialization of their culture, where sacred traditions are sometimes reduced to performances for visitors. Despite these difficulties, the Euros people demonstrate incredible resilience.